Right, let's actually see what happens on our page right now. So we just did everything. Then I'm going to do a refresh and I get an error up here. So let's switch to our console log and see, yeah, we got an error here. And this is expected because I mentioned this earlier on. We get something has been blocked by the CORS, or the access control allow origin. We need to set this up because it's not just going to allow all data to actually be passed through our browser. So we actually need to tell the system we're going to allow this data, because basically it's a security, but while we're in developing phase, we are going to disable our CORS here. Now, if you're using Vue, you can also install a plugin that's called Disable CORS, but it's not really working all the time. So, well, you can try it, but it's not, for me, it at least doesn't work every time. But let's see some of the errors here. Now, if we go to the network tab here, and I'm just going to click refresh real quick, see, this is all that's going to go through. And this down here, you can see this looks really remarkably familiar, right? So we are having our HTTP localhost and grabbing the information from this string. Now, this is what it actually looks like. This, once I click this, this is actually what it sees. So fail to load response. And this is because CORS is blocking everything from us. So we need to do a little bit more to our PHP, as I mentioned before. Now, in our PHP at the top here, we're going to do a header, and you can also search for this, just search for PHP CORS, and then you'll also get the code here. But what we need to do is we need to type access control dash allow dash origin, like this. And then we need to do the star and like this. So this is all we need to add to our PHP script here. So header, access, copy this. I can't copy this, but rewrite it and make sure they are capital A's, capital C, capital A, capital O here. It's really important. Save this and go back here and browse, and let's see. So if we go to control logs, we get no errors, so that means it's allowing the data. If we go back to network and we go to the JSON array, now we can see we get like numbers like this. What the? Right? So if we expand this, this is actually the code. So see ABW. If you go to my database, ABW, I thought it was up here. There we go. That's actually for Aruba. So we're grabbing information, Aruba, North America, and let's just make sure everything fits. So AB Aruba, and we can expand this, and you can see, ooh, North America. This all looks right. So here we're actually grabbing the information, and it's actually being put into our system here. And now we can actually reuse it because we're actually storing the information that we just have from our file. And if we go back to our view here, we can actually start implementing it. The other thing is this information that we grab down here, again, we save this information, this array, this object here, and we put it up here. So now we're able to do it. And what we want to do is we want to print out every country that there is, so like 200 something countries. And we need to do a loop for this. So we need to create a div block first, and then inside the div, we need to have a for loop, right? So let's do v4, sorry, my voice. And we do these, and we do a parentheses, and then we do for each country, right, in countries. And we're also going to add the index, and then after this, in countries, there we go. And then we're going to add the key of index here. Again, this is not, we don't want to, for now, we use index, that's not optimal, but doesn't matter. So here now we are using our for loops and looping through every part, every piece of this information from an array here. Let's fold this down. So every one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 all these to 238, looping through them. And we just want to print out, in the first one, we just want to print out the name, right? So what we want to do is we want to create a paragraph or a header 1 or whatever, and inside this we're just going to use our interpolation because now it's saved in here, and we're going to grab our, for each country, we want to grab the name. And if we go to our where it shows our database, these are the table names, and these are being converted into JSON. So if we want to grab something, we use these up here. So life expectancy, population, and we just want to grab the name. And it's important that you look here because this is using a capital N. So we need to use a capital N as well. So let's do this. Country name, save, go to this, and you can see it's already printing out all the countries here. Now, that's a lot of countries. I just want to quickly do on this div block here, class because we already installed VueDefine in the previous videos, and if you don't, then you have to manually add some padding for this, and as you can see, just moving them in. So this is actually grabbing the information from our localhost, from here, from our SQL, using PHP to print out an array, store this in an array, convert it to JSON, then we're grabbing the JSON with our Axios, our HTTP request, saving that into our object here, and then printing them out. So it's a little bit of an operation, but now we're actually grabbing information from an SQL server and presenting it into our view. Alright, next thing you could do is just grab the information you want from here. I'm not going to do it because I don't need to, but you can. So grab information from population, life expectancy, government forum, and so on, and make everything work that you want to have. So capitals, everything you want, right? Alright, see you in the next video.